Hey YouTube. I don't really know what to say because it's kind of like, we are at the line in the sand where things seem to unfold into a situation which none of us will favor at any point in time. Um, One thing I've been thinking a little about, you know, in 2001, something terrible happened here in America. I know all of you remember that. I remember I was watching it on TV back in Denmark. Back then it was two airplanes. It was four airplanes, but two of them were significant, right? They brought down the towers. And in all this debris, everything was pulverized, remember? They didn't find any remains. They didn't find any human parts. They didn't find, rings and all of these kind of things you normally will find in rubble after a collapse of a building. But they found nothing. And there was supposedly 2,996 people that died that day. So where's all the bodies? And everything was going up in flames. We saw the flames on TV, big ones. But mysteriously 18 passports escaped this inferno and landed on the ground for the FBI to pick up and present as evidence that 18 lunatics had hijacked some planes and tried to attack the White House. It was supposedly shut down in Pennsylvania. There was no wreckage. Weird. One went to Pentagon and torpedoed the wall outside the gate. No wreckage. And mysteriously, that Boeing 757 fitted into a hole the size of 12 feet. Boeing 757 is wider than 12 feet. But no one asks a question, right? No one wonders what's going on. And now we have, and this is not to mock someone, you got to understand one thing. You need to go do your history search. You need to go and really figure it out. I'm not in question of that people of the Arab world, the Muslims in general, are peaceful people. I have myself met people back in Denmark because we have a lot of Muslim people living there. And, they were nice. And they seemed to me as peaceful and very hospitable and made fantastic food and always had a story to tell. And of course I also experienced the negative part of yeah, if you want, Muslims. But when I look at my own Caucasian race, I also see that as rotten apples. When I look at black community here in America and know that already in the year that, yeah, it is actually since 2012 and up to the day of Trayvon Martin was so-called murdered, whatever he was or not, I don't know. Maybe he's still alive. Maybe it's just some spin to create some, division between the white people in America and the black people in America. Don't know. But in all that time, over 11,000 black people has been killed by own black people. And they're whining and screaming about some, so he was Mexican, he's not even white, he's Hispanic, right? And now, now we are gonna go out and get some revenge, and, like in the old days in the 80s where, what was it, that incident that was in Los Angeles, that, where there was a black guy that got beat up by cops and the black people reacted and started beating people up, white people up here and there. Really bad situation, which should not find place at all. You need to look at why the other incident happened and You only need to look at those people who did the crime and not those people who has nothing to do with it, like pulling a truck driver out of his truck and beat him to pieces. He has nothing to do with it, but he becomes a victim of what some corrupted cops are doing. But now we see that we are writing 12 years after the incident this Wednesday of September 11th or 9/11, where the two buildings in New York fell. The twins fell. And now we got this Muslim march in Washington, D.C. On that very day, as I recall, the so-called war against terror, or the terror card from the Illuminati card deck, came about after 9/11. And now the war on terror was against these Muslims in the Arab countries. So now on 9/11, 2013, the entire nation and pretty much the rest of the world, but mostly America, is going to have a wet cloth, ice cold, thrown into their face. And that goes for all of you. It is a wet rag right in your face what's going to take place in Washington, D.C. this Wednesday. Because the war on terror was against the Muslim world. And after 12 years, we are allowing, well, I don't know how many Muslims are going to show up and pray. And we are allowing them to do that in the capital of this nation, worshipping who is sitting in there. Yeah, because he has said publicly on his meetings in the Arab nations when he met with them, in fluent Arab, I am one of you. Meaning that inside this country, he is working for them. And what has happened after he came into office? We had the Muslim Brotherhood, the Arab Spring coming into fruition. And we are seeing that this man sitting in there is supporting what he so-called called rebels. But in reality, these people are equipped, they are financed, and of course backed up by American interests. I'm not talking about you people, but about those people who sit and call themselves those that lead you. You're beginning to see what's going on. The show coming up after this, 2 parts, will kind of explain what it is that is going on. Maybe you will understand it, maybe you won't. If you don't understand it, that's pretty sad. But that time. But it is a red flag. It is a wet cloth right in your face, all of you, America. All of you. That we are celebrating, we are commending, we are in this gospel-loving country. Yeah? Or is it? We are allowing the enemy to lay down in Washington and pray to Muhammad, which by nature and in history is known for being the world's first slave trader. They're still doing slave trading to this day, 2013. This murderer, this pedophile, this suicidal, schizophrenic person to be worshipped and celebrated in our nation's capital, and 2 million bikers has been denied access to our capital to make their stand, that they see that this is wrong, what is going on in our nation, in this gospel-loving country. And it seems like every day is just business as usual, and the vast majority of this country is completely oblivion to what's going to take place in Washington, D.C., that you're being mocked. You're being... I don't have a word for it, honestly, except I have a very foul word for it, but then this video would be flagged if I used that word. But you've been stepped right in your face, trampled over, right in your face. But you're just going to go down and buy your gas as usual, go to work and come home and watch American Idol or NFL or whatever, Fox News. And maybe you hear two minutes about this so-called prayer session, but you will not hear anything else. But that's all you hear, without knowing that your leaders in this country is betraying you. They are betraying what the founding fathers brought to this country, what they wished for this country, which also were in reality. But during the war period in the early 20th century and all the way up to now, as I explained, this is a three-step war plan to get rid of Jews and all Christians and Christianity as a whole from this planet. That's the plan from the Illuminati. So there is a God, because these Illuminatis are worshipping Satan, Lucifer. So is the Vatican, and the Vatican created Islam as a sword against the Christians and the Jews, because they would not bow to the decree that the Vatican set out when they took power in Europe as the fourth kingdom, as in the Daniel prophecy. And now it's all gone wrong, as you see. And what I don't understand with this peace-loving people down in these countries, they are so many over these complete idiots which is running around shooting and bombing and whatever they are doing. Why are you not in those respective countries putting your foot down and saying to these punks, you stop that or we will stop you, because you are destroying this nation that we have built and worked for centuries, and you are destroying that overnight. We cannot allow that. You stop now, we will stop you with any means necessary. Where are you? That makes me question, seriously, who you really are. That there's nothing being done to stop them from within. But we are hearing America beating the war drums, and you can bet on you will get your war. And it will be a war that will take out 1/3 of this world populace. This war coming soon, people. Very soon. 1/3 of all of us will go bye-bye from this planet when that comes. And America will be the one who fires the first shot. You can count on that. Think about it. God bless you.